On August 24th and 25th, LA Team Handball hosts their 17th edition of its annual SoCal Beach Handball Championship. 12 men's and 6 women's teams participated in the event that congregates the best beach handball players and teams in the US and Canada. We talked with the young members of the San Francisco CalHeat team, and they told us how the team got organized and how they did against the tough competition.
Well, first I want to say thank you for having me. This couple weeks ago, this tournament was my third time at the SoCal Beach Handball Tournament. It was an incredible experience. We all had a good time, and we ended up placing 5th out of 12 teams, so pretty successful tournament.
This was the 4th year that I participated.
This is my second time participating in the tournament, as well as my second year playing in beach handball at all.
So this would be my second time playing at this tournament. We did bring a team in 2022, but it was a smaller, middle school, high school team. And this year we were able to bring a coordinated group of all college guys.
Well, I'd personally say that this was our best finish. We finished 5th place out of 12 teams. I think our best finish before that was 4th out of 8 teams. But I think this was the year that we did it the best.
Personally, I felt like we had more teams this year, more competitive teams, at least there is. I think there were 3 LA teams this year. A few Canadian teams. The women's pool is definitely bigger, and yeah, it's great to have more teams. We get meet new people, meet some more from all over the country, from new countries even, and to make those connections with new guys is always great.
This tournament was a lot more successful, as I placed dead last year with the team I played with, though I do think that we played very well and did not deserve that position. We just had bad luck in general doing shootouts last year.
We actually won 3 out of 6 games, so in the previous year we didn't win any games at all. So it was great to come out and see the improvement that we've made over the past year, even with the limited practice that we had. We were only practicing for a month, maybe 2 months before the tournament, since we're all going to different college or in high school. So yeah, it's nice to see even after those times that we can retain the chemistry that we have from playing together since we were in middle school.
There's been a lot of different teams. I feel like this team was the closest in age. I think we were all ranging from about 17 to 19 years old. So I think we fit together. Our ages were together. I think we played pretty good.
So this tournament, we had more teams than I think any of the other years in both the men's and the women's categories. It was also really great because we'd started building connections with other teams. We knew other players coming. I myself knew some players from Canada coming on a team, so it was cool to be reunited with some handball friends. And also, we were completely a youth team, or under 21 team this year. We organized it all by ourselves. A couple of the high schoolers and college players all organized practices by ourselves, getting all the equipment together, figuring out transportation, everything. We all went down by ourselves. We shared a Verbo. It was really great experience for everyone, and we played really well. It was an awesome experience.
So it was notable. We had a couple of our guys step up and take leadership to organize this. I'm gonna note Aaron, Oliver, and Paulo. Oliver organized the housing, Paulo with the registration and everything, and Aaron was our coach. He's always the motivator. So it's great to see those guys stepping up and forming some semblance of leadership in our team. Since we didn't have a coach, we had Martin in Paris. We didn't have anyone there that was willing to coach us because they were coaching other teams. But it's great that we can have that level of independent play among other teams that were maybe more organized than us, and we still did well even without a coach. So.
Well, this was the first time that we played without a coach. I have to thank Paulo for setting everything up. He did all the organizing, and then I know Ollie got a Verbo for most of the team to stay in. And I think it was really nice. It was a change because it was the first year that the players actually set everything up. And I think we did a really good job.
We played 6 games, winning the last 3 in a row. It was self-organized. All the practices leading up to the tournament, or where we stayed, the transportation, everything there we did ourselves, all the team. We did get funding from Jean-Marc, who paid for our registration, but otherwise it was all done by the team who went to play. Most of us were 19 or younger, by far the youngest team and probably the shortest team overall. But I think we were definitely one of the best teams, apart from the teams that had a bunch of national players. Yeah, like the team we lost against twice, LA Gold had plenty of them. Some that I practiced with occasionally when I went to some of the camps they held. And I mean, San Diego was coached by a very well-known beach player, Alex.
So we played against LA Team Handball twice, who had multiple national team players like Cody Dominic and Chalmers Brown, and we played against multiple San Diego teams.
This year we won most of our shootouts, and we took both sets in our last game to get the 5th place.
A majority of the teams we played against, well, actually every single team we played against that we ended up matching up with were fully adult teams. So I don't know the exact age range, but they're all older than us. Many of them were stronger and taller than us. We were definitely one of the shorter teams. It was also really amazing because we got to play against players on the USA national team for beach handball. So players who are the top of the sport around the world. The U.S. has been very successful in beach handball, and getting the opportunity to play against players like Handball Ninja and Drew Donlin was really incredible.
So we beat both San Diego teams, the purple and the blue. I think there was not a stronger team out of the two. I think they were evenly distributed among strength. And we beat also the LA Locos, I think their name. They were the 3rd string LA team, I believe. So that was nice to get 3 wins against pretty strong teams. They were all mostly adults, not really any young people. So we definitely showed them that the kids could run for sure.
So we played 4 on Saturday. We actually lost 3 of them. One was to a shootout, and then 2 were both shutouts. But then on the second day, we won both of our games to clinch the fifth place spot.
We played against San Diego twice, and then we played LA Gold, which was the winning team, twice. We lost to them both times, and they just found a really good strategy against our team, which suffered from lack of height. And with no coach, it was very difficult to overcome this as players, because it's very hard to get. We have a very narrow view during the game.
Take a moment to think about this. I believe we won 4 games. 3. I think we ended up going 3-3 throughout the tournament. But we had some great. Even the losses were great, like learning experiences. We had a couple games go to shootout. So just all around, I think we got a lot out of the tournament. And again, we were playing against some players who are playing professional in tournaments around the world. We were playing against players who've been playing the sport a lot longer than ourselves. So it was really great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in our 6 games we went 3-3, and we won the games that mattered. So we ended up 5th out of 12 teams. And I think expectations-wise, we wanted to place in the top half, so top 6, and we did that. The way a shootout works is if both teams have one set, so both teams win a set, then it goes to a 3rd set, which is a shootout, and basically it's a goalie, a passer, and an offensive player, and the goalie can choose to come out of goal and kind of play more of a defensive role against the attacking shooter. That's what I do. I specialize in that. So as a defensive player, I start in goal and then I go out and try to force a lob shot or get a block onto a player. So in our shootouts, I mixed in like half and half with our regular goalie, Ezekiel, and it was a good combination of him staying in goal, lots of flexibility and jumping and trying to block shots, and then me going out and pressuring on them to make bad passes, to drop the ball and take the shots they didn't quite want to take. And it was pretty successful. We won 2 out of our 3 shootouts. One, Ezekiel made a really key save at the end of the shootout. One, I had 2 saves, including a nice layout to block a full court shot from their goalie. So that was really exciting, I should say, as a player, and I'm sure the people watching it. And our offense did tremendous during all the shootouts. I think every time they made 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. So it was all around exciting.
So I'd say it's an amazing experience. If you played indoor, there's a lot that translates from indoor over the beach. So if you come out and enjoy, like we have a youth clinic this weekend on Saturday. We have practices every Wednesday, Monday here too for Pioneer and Castellaro. And if you can get involved in any way, then beach is a great alternative to indoor. And it's a little bit different, but I think you can build stronger chemistry with your teammates. Since we have a little bit smaller of defense and offense, we have 6 players on the court here. And in beach, there's 4 players. So you develop a little bit more. You know a little bit more.
I would highly recommend it. I mean, there's no judgment. Everyone is super great. And it's such a free sport. You can, like, you can play as you wish, and there's so much things you can do in the sports and to make it work. Like compared to indoor is extremely technical, while beach you always have an advantage that is offense. So offensive players have so much freedom with how they play, which is absolutely great and definitely worth trying.
Honestly, it's just a really fun sport to try out. I think it's interesting because there aren't too many sports on sand. If you kind of make the comparison between regular volleyball and beach volleyball, people may play it on the side for fun, but honestly, it's a whole different experience. In beach handball, you get to do spin shots and alley-oop shots, so that aspect of it is something you don't really get to see very often. You might be surprised to learn that that's encouraged in the sport. You want to take trick shots, and they're worth more points. And then from defense, you get to dive more. Like I said, it's on the sand. It's just a really fun sport to play and get into. And I think if you've played regular indoor handball, it's really fun to transition to, and it's just a good. It's honestly, in some aspects, it's faster than indoor handball. So I think there's a bit for everyone.
I would really recommend it. It's not as I don't know if it's as competitive as indoor handball, but I'd say it's more fun. It's something very unique that you don't really get to do in any other sport. I don't think there's any other sport where you get to do 360s to score 2 points. So I think it's really fun, and I'd recommend it to anyone.